Hi everyone, it's me, Darlene. I am going to show you a different bead today. This is a bead that is a bit more sophisticated. It's a little bit longer to make, but to me it's more fun and more creative. Generally, I show you beads that are good quality for like kids to play with to make jewelry, and they're made out of magazine pages or newspapers or whatnot. This is going to be made out of copy paper, and you're going to be creating the design of the bead yourself. And it makes a nice finished looking bead. This is going to be a tubular bead, so it's easier than a tapered bead. And I think it's a really good one to practice your creative side. This focuses more on the creative end of it. So let's get started. You are going to need a piece of copy paper. I have a feeling you have that. I try to keep it simple, but I will try to link to any tools that I use in the description box below this video, so always check that box to see what kind of links I have for you. Okay, very easy to start. First, you're going to decide what color you want your bead to be. I am going to be creating a basic black bead with silver embellishment, and this is a Sharpie. Let me see what it's called here. I don't have the right glasses. Let me put my other glasses on. I know I got this at Walmart. You know, actually I didn't. I think I had gotten this through an online order, but it's just a silver metallic Sharpie marker that is actually almost like a metallic paint. And since we're going to be drawing on black, it's kind of important that you have a metallic kind of marker. And I'm sure you can get something like that at Walmart. Okay, across the short end, we are going to just kind of eyeball it and make a line about an inch up. And we're just going to fill that whole space in with black. I just put I happen to have a piece of Tyvek paper here, so that's what I'm using. Now what we're doing here is we are going to make the core, the inside of the bead, black. So it has a more professional and finished look. You can buy bead cores that you can glue on the ends of your beads, which make them really pretty. They come in different colors, silver, gold, whatnot. But then you do have to be a little bit concerned about making sure that the whole of your bead is the right size for the core that you have. So this is just a simple way and a much cheaper way to just give your bead a finished look. Almost done. Okay, now we're going to flip the paper over, turn it around. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other end. Now this end is going to be the outside of the bead. And it might seem unusual to you that we're doing opposite sides of the page, but that's because one side is going to be the core on the inside, so that needs to be the opposite of the outside. So we're going to make sure we get at least an inch here for the outside of the bead. And you want to make sure that the edges are covered with black. Don't have to use marker. You could use paint or whatever you want, but I'm using marker today. Now for the outside of the bead, I like to just make nice stripes going across. Oh, I just love this so much. I'm a weirdo. I love the sound of it. I love the smell of it. I've always loved the sound of writing or drawing on paper, which is why I always think I was a math major. I just loved doing math homework because I liked the sound of my pencil on the paper. Okay. Now we're going to cut this lengthwise so that each strip has a piece of black on the top and the bottom. And I use my handy dandy paper cutter. Now, if you're going to, let me just move back here a little bit, really be into making beads, you're going to want one of these. I also have one of these little paper cutters like this, a slicer or whatever you want to call it, but you can't put the paper lengthwise in this because this thing is not long enough. So I'm going to do inch. An inch will be better for you to practice with. Okay, so we know my paper is 8.5, so I'm going to move my page to 7.5. And cut. Okay, I need to cut another inch, but it's hard to hold it this way, so what I do is I'm going to just cut a 1/2 inch off, and it's going to leave me with an inch. Okay, so now I have an inch here. Do not throw the 1/2 inch strip away, because you can make a 1/2 inch bead with that, and you can put it in your little bucket of beads that are oddballs. Now the fun begins. Since my basic color is black, we also want to make sure that the edges of the beads are going to be black. So on both sides of this paper, we're going to take a black marker. Again, I just happen to have this big chunky Sharpie. I really like that because it's got a nice big chisel tip. See if you can see that. See, it's pretty wide. I like that. So I just go on each side, and you just want to make sure that you have the actual edge. If there's any white showing on the finished product, you can just touch up. And we flip, we do the same thing on this side. So that's why I said it's a little bit more time consuming than just cutting your beads out of magazines, but it's fun. And you're just going to do that to all your strips. Okay, so now you have 8 strips that look all the same. They have one side, there's black on each tip, opposite ends, and then there's black on the outer edges on both sides. Now we're going to design the bead. So you're going to take one of the black ends here. Make sure, like I said, that you have over an inch. We're going to, gee, I wish I had a clean spot now. Do it this way, maybe I can zoom a little bit here. Now I'm going to take my shiny metallic marker, and we're going to design, and I don't know exactly how I want to do it. Okay, let's try this. I'm going to do stripes, so I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to leave the edges black, so let me just start like right here, and I'm just going to make a stripe down. See that? And on this end. See that? Ooh, let's make one in the middle. And now let's do some dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Doesn't have to be the same. That bead is done being designed. I'm going to like that. It's going to look like, sort of like an African bead. And we're just going to do that to every bead. Okay, now we're going to start rolling. You take your strip, take a wooden skewer or the end of a paintbrush. You do not want to use this end. You want to use this end, and you want the dark, let me back up a little bit here. You want the dark side of this end to go against your stick. See how this is not the dark side? So you take your blank side, dark side, and that goes on your stick, because that, as it's rolled, is going to give you a dark core in there. Oops, let me get my glue ready. I am going to be glazing these, so I would not have to put glue all down the paper, but I always like to put some glue on the paper because it just makes the bead that much harder when it dries. Okay, so I'm just going to start rolling. And none of this has to have anything on it, this white, because none of that's going to show. And then when I roll a couple rounds, I take a little bit of glue. It doesn't have to be much, and my glue is already dried from my previous crafting this morning. And I'm just going to put like a little line of glue there. See how much I put? Not much. But I'm just going to rub it in a little bit with my fingers. And that just makes it easier to roll. It sticks better, and it does dry harder. Now, don't worry if you go, you know, if your bead slides here a little bit. The glue will help it not slide. But okay, so we can fix anything that slides after the fact. I'm going to put some more on the tip here, and this is where the magic happens that we're going to see. the bead you created. Ah, 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 lovely. I absolutely love it. And you just spread the glue around. Now at this point I take it off, and you just can squeeze both ends there and you'll make a nice flat end. Now let me see, I want to be able to show you this here. Get something for a background. You'll see how that just overlapped, and then you should be able to tell that, see, the edges of the bead are black and the core is black, so it really makes for a finished bead, as opposed to, you know, something like these kid beads that I made. These are, you know, rough cut. They're, you know, good quality for kids to play with, and then you can see, you know, that the inside is white. So it just makes for a much classier bead, and I just love it. We're gonna glaze it at the end. All right, so let's make another one. And then I just, you know, I just have a paper plate over there, and I just put them down like that. It's gonna dry. And or you can stand them up like that if you want to dry on your paper plate, or some people have like a styrofoam with toothpicks and you can drop one on each toothpick. Okay, again, take the plain black side, put the black against the stick, and start rolling. Strip of glue, rub it in, just so it's a little tacky. Just really helps the rolling process. Roll, 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 roll. But you can see here how I'm off. We'll push that in after. Whoops. Just want to show you that you don't have to worry about it. A little bit more glue here. And we're going to finish like that. Take it off, and I'm just going to push that. And it's all nice. I do like to put a little bit of, you know, just make sure that that little edge there goes down. That's it. Good enough. And we just continue. Then my last one. This is the first time that I do the lines like that with the little dots, and I quite like it. Alright, we are done. I'm going to let these dry, and then I'm going to show you how I glaze them. Okay, my little beads are dry now. When you want to dry the glue of beads quickly, you can put them in the microwave for 10 seconds, take them out, move them around, put them another 10 seconds, that's usually enough. Now I'm going to glaze these. So, I have this acrylic gloss medium. It's just called Simply Acrylic. I got this at Walmart, I believe it was like $4. And this would have lasted me forever had Skylar not played with it. And you can do so many things with this, and one of the things you can do is coat the beads. If you wanted to, you could just do another couple coats of glue, or you can do some shiny nail polish. You can do glittery nail polish. You can do whatever you want. They actually have varnish, and one thing I will be showing you down the road is how to emboss these, and that makes them look like acrylic beads. They're really, really pretty. Okay, I'm going to use this. But what I do is I take a paintbrush now that has a nice tapered end, and I'm going to put my bead, this table is so crooked, I'm going to put my bead on this so it holds the bead for me, so I don't have to be trying to hold it with my fingers while I'm glossing it. Usually I just have it right next to me and I squeeze a little, and that's way too much. And I just do a nice coating here. Actually, I like to go this way. And you can, you know, coat it pretty good. It'll all dry clear. There we go. And then I just take this off and I just kind of, well, if I find a flat area, see, I just stand it up like that. Now let's see, I should have enough here still. This is just a good way to hold the bead while you glaze it. I just love this step. You know, you can take one day to design your beads and one day to roll them and then another day to glaze them. And of course you can make necklaces, bracelets, earrings, all kinds of things. you can see I made some of these black with just little dots, and those will go nicely with the ones that I just did. And these are glazed just once, and I'm trying to see if you can see any of the sheen. They're a little bit shinier. They certainly feel glazed. This is the 3/4 inch. I just like this size, and these are striped in a different direction. And then I made some of these little nuggets here that I'll show you how to make later. It's just a little tapered bead, and I thought it would go really nice between these black beads in a necklace, see? So, just so much you can do. And I'm going to go ahead and glaze these guys since I have that glaze out. And I'll be back after these dry. Okay, I actually glazed a couple times. Some of these are glazed twice, some 3 times. And I'm going to show you the ones that we made today. I think they came out so nice. I'm telling you, if you make a necklace using beads like this, no one would know that this was made with paper until you tell them, because you have to tell them and brag about how talented you are, that you can make such pretty beads. And here's the polka dot ones that I had made before. Kind of go with it. You can make, you know, something that makes a nice set. And then I even glazed these little nuggets that I think are so adorable. A little bit harder to make those, but I will be showing you very soon. So please subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any of the beads that I make. I'm going to be showing you a lot of different style beads, and then at some point I will show you actual jewelry made. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Please give a thumbs up. I appreciate it so much. Bye!